Hey, Shalom family. So I was in Kroger today, and right before I got in line, the power, I saw the lights flicker a little bit, and then the power went out, just for like a brief second, like a few seconds. The power went out, the lights went out, it came right back on. And so I went to go get back in line. I noticed that everybody had kind of like ran to the line, um, and none of the cash registers were working. Maybe a couple of them were working, and the rest of them, they shut down because of the power going out. Just for that, brief moment, the power went out, and all the cash registers shut down. And so it was a long wait to be able to get everything back up and running again. So it was a little chaotic. But the lights just flickered for just a quick second, and in that slight disconnection from power, caused a big uproar, and kind of shut everything down, stopped everything from functioning. Um, and as I was driving home, it made me think about the fact that, just how just a brief disconnection from power, from our source of power, from light, from understanding, just a brief disconnection from that can start to shut us down, can start to cause cause dysfunction, within us. And, not seeing things in the light, in the right way, in perspective, was cause us to start breaking down in our communication, breaking down in our thought processes, breaking down in how we're relating to ourselves and to people, even to the Most High. Not being rightly connected to our source will start, it starts to show, it starts to have an effect on us and on those around us, and right away. But then over time, so the people were in line. Some people were in line, and for the most part, most people just kind of waited. Of course, people were feeling impatient, but most people waited. Some people put their stuff down and walked out the door. One lady, I kid you not, one lady took her whole. She had a cart full. She was in line, had a whole cart full of stuff. I promise you, she just rolled her cart straight out the door. I guess she was like, if the cash register's not working, then I guess the alarm ain't gonna be working either. She took her whole her whole cart and just went out the front door. I was just like, okay. Nobody saw that. But so some people decided they didn't really need what they needed, what they came in for. They put it to the side. So we might have been about a 10-minute delay. But if it would have been a 20 or 30-minute delay because of that disconnect, then people would have come up with more alternatives to it. And I was thinking that's what happens to us. A lot of times, we're disconnected from our source of power. We're not seeing things His way. We're not getting, operating in His light. We're not connected to Him rightly. And we're not operating in that power. So then we start to find other alternatives, right? We start to look at what can compensate for that. Okay, this is not working. We're good at compensating for dysfunction. When something's not functioning, we find another way, even if that way is dysfunctional, if it works for us. So if I don't have true peace, well, I'll find something that makes me happy. I'll find a source of comfort somewhere. If I don't have true power, then I'll go find something that I can control. So we'll find alternatives in dysfunction, and then we'll start to function in that as if it is normal. you know, all from not being rightly connected to our source, to our power. We'll find other ways. And just like King Saul, when he couldn't, when the Most High stopped speaking to him, what did he do? He went to go consult with mediums. He went to go consult with other powers to be able to get answers that he needed. So whenever we are not rightly connected to our source, whenever we are not perceiving his light, his understanding, his perspective and perceptions, we start to break down, things break down, and then we start to seek other ways. So that's the thought that came to my mind as I was in the line. And as I was contemplating that situation at the Kroger, how just that small flicker of light, that small disconnect from power, just shut everything down. And immediately when something's disconnected, when you cut off a branch from a tree or a leaf from a tree, it immediately begins to die. So what is the answer? The answer is that when we see these things dysfunctional, when we find ourselves functioning in different ways, that we have to stop to say, When did I disconnect from the source? Where am I disconnected from the source? Where do I need light? And we have to start to go back to that source, our source of light. We have to go back to the Most High. We have to humble ourselves. The people who waited patiently in line, they had to humble their spirits to say, okay, let me wait. What I need here is more important. It's essential. It's necessary. I have no choice. I can't control the situation. So let me humble down and wait. Be patient and until things are back in order. And that's what we have to be willing to do, is to say, okay, I have to wait and I have to be patient. I have to humble myself, and because there's only one option. This is the only option for me. So nothing else is acceptable. So that's the place that we have to be. If my people will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, and turn from their wicked, their dysfunctional, their self-compensating ways, then I'll hear from heaven, and I'll forgive, and heal their land, and put them back in functionality. So I just wanted to share that thought and that reflection with you. And I pray that you all have a beautiful day and a blessed Shabbat. Shalom.